You know that sound. It's the Exponential Files with Jim Lowenstern, your host, and I'm Larry Lawfer, a co-host. Each week, we bring you somebody you really need to know or somebody afterward the show you wish you were. Today, we have somebody who's in the know. We're about EXP real estate, and we're here to help you. We have Anthony Robinson, a KvCore specialist. Welcome to the show, Anthony.
Hey guys, thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure being had, as they say. So before we get to you talking about KvCore, we had some special news that's happening in the real estate. We're a real estate show.
Yep. Just released from Inman News. Give Inman a little plug. So Inside Real Estate, that is the parent company of KvCore, which Anthony will be speaking about in a minute. They just purchased basically one of their number one competitors, Boomtown. So that's the biggest property tech deals since Zillow bought Showtime last year. Well, actually, 2 years ago at this point. So that deal with Boomtown was just announced. It closed yesterday. And I guess Inside Real Estate has bought Amstats. That was also in the same article, the recruiting software. So that's interesting. They're putting money into acquisitions in this market.
You heard it here first. That's Jim Lowenstern. Second on the news because we're paying attention. Anthony, you came to Castles Unlimited, Castles Luxury, part of EXP, and you did an hour-long presentation about how you set up KvCore, why you set it up, and it's a brilliant 4-hour program, and you cut it down to an hour for that presentation. Now we're asking you to do it in half an hour. So I'm happy to share the screen. Why don't you get right at it and tell us why setting up your KvCore and the way that you set it up is going to be good for your business.
Absolutely. Again,
and Anthony, let me just add to that because I want to preface this. There's going to be viewers out there who say, I have no idea what these guys are talking about. So you're going to have to speak to what KvCore actually is. But I also want you to speak to the difference that KvCore brings to real estate professionals versus the traditional way of selling real estate. I actually was just speaking to an agent that works for traditional brick and mortar. She was talking about how she has, people that have come in from the street and buy from her. How would shifting from that model to a more internet-based lead generating system like KvCore help her business in this case?
Have at it.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Let me get the screen up and running here. And excuse me, guys.
So let me fill in some of the blanks that Jim just brought up. KvCore is one of the top lead generating websites in the market today. It helps real estate agents, it helps insurance people, it helps bring leads to you. As part of being an EXP agent, you are given an EXP KvCore website. This is not mom and pop. This is a deep dive into analytics, AI, and how everything works on the internet. I'm sorry to take up your time. Go ahead, Anthony.
No, absolutely. First, guys, let me say thank you again for having me. Much appreciated being part of your podcast. I was very much looking forward to today and share some of this knowledge. So Jim and Larry, thank you. Talking about KvCore, I like to always start, and you remember, Larry, we had this analogy. KvCore is a CRM. It's a customer relationship management system that will not only allow you to manage your real estate transactions, manage your activities with your clients, but it will also oversee your entire business. The way in which I usually present it to an agent, and you like that analogy, Jim, is think of a KvCore, or think of your business as a restaurant. Think of it as a restaurant where you have the storefront and you got, or the dining room, and you got the kitchen. The storefront is what people see when they come into your restaurant, where they sit down in the dining room and they look at the ambience. And the more attractive that is, the more that they're going to spend time there, the more money that they're going to spend. The better your kitchen operates, the better that your kitchen, the better the food that you prepare, the more you charge, the more satisfied your customers are. KvCore is that system that is not only going to make you look good in front of your customers, but it's also going to help you become a better agent and a more productive agent by automating about 60 to 90% of your day-to-day real estate activity. So,
okay, we got this. Let's move on.
So that's that.
We get it.
So that's that. So rather than to do that, so today I came in and I wanted to jump in right away and give you guys, I get hundreds of agents calling me every day and asking me, Anthony, I need help with my KvCore. What should I do? Where do I start? So I wanted to come in right away today and give you guys my first 10 tips that will get you up and running, that will get you operating in KvCore. Okay.
Top 10 tips. Here we go.
Top 10 tips. Tip number 1. We live in a social media world. We got YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn and tomorrow and TikTok. First thing that you want to do as an agent who have access to KvCore, the first thing that you want to do is that you want to link all your social media channels, all your social media present to your KvCore.
And this is in your profile in KvCore. You need to set your profile up first. That's the first thing to do.
Correct. As soon as you log into KvCore, just the same way that you do with any other social media apps, anything that you do, you want to brand it. Taking it back to the analogy of the restaurant, you buy the restaurant, you want to put your logo up right away. You want to put the street sign. So the minute that you log into your KvCore, you want to make sure that the branding is correctly. You want to link it to all your social media, because that way, not only the people will be able to recognize your name in all your channels, but also inbound traffic, generate more leads, generate more business.
And more importantly, consistency through all your channels.
Absolutely.
Next slide.
That's tip number 1. Tip number 2, in our KvCore, and I took mine out, we have a profile page. Same way like a la Facebook, Instagram, or any of the other platform where you have a profile, where you speak about you want to have a profile in KvCore. It is what the consumer is going to see when they come into your website. If they want to read a little bit about you, who you are, what business you've done, you want to make sure that your profile is fulfilled. Again, log into your KvCore, go to edit profile, and add a nice paragraph about who you are and how you got to the business. Okay?
And you know what's important about that, I think, Anthony, is be authentic. Don't
absolutely.
And worse yet, don't accept the boilerplate that's already been there. I care about the community. I care about you. You know, service is my number one. Blah, blah, blah.
Correct.
And mention notable sales you've done also. If you've been doing this for a while.
Exactly.
Correct. Third tip, widgets. KvCore is a rich, powerful CRM. We have hundreds of options, hundreds of plugin widgets that you could turn around and add it directly to your website. So for those agents that may be looking at this and they do not, and I'm part of the ESP, understand that we are providing you the top of the line CRM, a technology that is going to allow you to come in and within 3 minutes, you have a state-of-the-art website that is going to drive business to you, that is going to generate business while making you look good. So when you
So,
log in,
Anthony, what would you say the average cost per lead? And there's a lot of ways to generate leads, uh, hundreds or thousands of dollars to Zillow, or huge referral fees to OpCity or whatever. I turned my site on a few days ago, and I probably have about 5 or 6 leads. At this rate, I'll probably have close to 100 leads this month, and I'm doing the math. It's probably going to be about $2, $3 a lead. Is that
absolutely.
about right?
Well, and again, the price per lead is one of that magic number without going into a lot of that, because it all depends on the marketplace. I would say that it all depends on the audience that you're targeting. If you are targeting a luxury property, $4, $5, $6 million, you know that that is a specific consumer. So where that person spend time is probably going to cost you a little bit more to buy those set of eyes. So the price of lead, I always say that is a moving target based on the audience that you are targeting.
Okay.
And keep in
Makes
mind,
sense.
Jim, you have been in business for a good long time before the internet was invented, and you have a lot of great content out there, and all of that's connected. So you're going to get leads faster because you've done so much more.
Well, not necessarily, because this is a new website. I mean, this is not castlesunlimited.com. This is a totally new KvCore website that I'm
Correct.
speaking about.
For
And
you,
now,
for
Totally
Jim
different.
Lowenstern.
and
Yeah.
now bring me to the next tip number 4: weekly blogs on your site. We live in a world where Google is looking for content. The quicker that you allow Google to come into your website and index your website and see that you are the authority in that marketplace, in the luxury brand, and Google start tying in all this rich content that you're writing into your website, that is when you're going to turn around and generate more traffic, more leads, because you are going to get ranked higher in Google. The more context that you provide Google, the higher that you're going to rank. Does
And
that
So
make
is
sense,
let's
guys?
talk about this quickly. So there's something called a squeeze page where you can set up content. Can you link a squeeze page to a blog post? Let's say
yes,
So
new
yes,
construction property.
yes,
so
yes.
that is correct. So let's say I build a blog post that I'm going to write about this new development, this new construction project, and I'm going to have in there some of the construction, some of the specs on the construction, delivering days, and so forth. And in there, I'm going to build that content. I'm going to build that blog post around that. In there, I'm going to say for additional information, or for receiving or to continue reading this paragraph or this post or learn more, click here. Then you redirect the person back to a lead capture where you get the name, last name, and
Sure.
email address, and then you bring them to a place where they can see a video of the construction or a video of the property. So the squeeze page is just like that. It's something that you bring that person through a funnel and you squeeze them to get the juice. The juice is the lead, the name, the last name, the email address that has that value for you. Quick sample or a lot of squeeze pages, a seller evaluation. You advertise that you want to offer a seller evaluation. You put a squeeze page, the person land there, they give you the name, and the system generate the seller evaluation, which is one of the great features that KvCore offer.
Sure. And I want to say something about blogs. Somebody who's been blogging forever. I'm an ambassador at Active Rain, one of the 3 here in Massachusetts. Blogging is really important because it shows who you are and it shares with your clients, your prospects, anybody who looks at it, what you are and who you are. But if you do video, it's better because Google reads it as a more content. Am I right
Correct.
with that, Anthony?
Correct. That is correct. And we're going to go through that. Tip number 3 right away, very quickly. Buy the URL. You could buy it whatever you want, a Godaddy. You could buy it a network solution,
Sure.
whatever you
Sure.
buy your URL. why am I recommending that? We all have our KvCore's name or websites are our first name and last name .esp Realty. As great as the company, and I love the culture of ESP, my website name is way too long. People are never going to remember Anthony Robinson Duran .esp Realty. So what I recommend to people, keep it simple. Buy yourself a short URL, like I did, sellwithduran.com, and redirect your URL to your KvCore website. Now you have a short URL that you could direct people, and does the same exact thing as using the long URL. Okay, so that's quick tip number 5. Number 6, there you go. YouTube video. Video is king. We all know that video is king. One of the ways in which you could create a more interactive website in KvCore, which the plugins are very easy to navigate. You could literally go and shoot a video, put it on YouTube, and bring it to your KvCore in a matter of seconds. You upload it to YouTube, it gets processed in YouTube, you grab the URL, you bring it to KvCore, and voila, you have instant content, right? Rich interactive content right on your site.
Right. And because of the size of the file, YouTube is delivering, Google sees it, who owns YouTube, as more important. So,
correct.
You know,
Absolutely.
I know a lot of you are still not using video. You got to figure out a strategy how to do that.
Absolutely, absolutely. So yes, tip number 6, YouTube. And you, by the way, one of the things that I've had a lot of agents asking me, can I embed it on my blog? Absolutely. You could use video not only to deliver rich content about who you are and what you're working with, but think about the possibilities, the properties, walk through the properties, open houses, your listings, and also letting your audience know who you are.
Yeah.
You know, the towns in which you operate. So the possibilities are endless. You should be able to plug in your YouTube to your website.
Yeah.
Number 6.
Yeah.
Number 7.
I'm sorry. The towns you service should be in your profile.
Absolutely.
Make sure at the very beginning, any of the towns that you are in your profile.
We're going to go to that. Thank you for reminding me. Take number 7. We aren't realtors. We are in the business of selling property. You should add a mortgage calculator to your website. Yes, we all work with our mortgage lenders, our mortgage partner, but you should have a widget or a mortgage calculator on your website that allow people to get an idea of the potential monthly budget or the monthly price or loan amount. So you should definitely add a mortgage calculator widget to your website. There's a few of them out there. Mortgage.org offered a free widget. You can just plug it right into your KvCore, fully interactive, branded with your name, all good to go. Mortgage calculator.
Now, we should also mention that the 3.77% interest rate is probably going to be difficult to get.
That will probably not exist for a few.
Not now, but that changes fairly often. Now, I want to ask you, how is this particular, like you have a multitude of apps that you can choose from that. How is that different than Zillow or Redfin or any of the others that provide this exact same service?
Well, the difference is this, and I always tell people, the worst thing, and I love, again, this is personal opinion, and hopefully no one take me to task on this one. But I work very hard to drive the audience to my website. The last thing that I want to do is send them to a Zillow, send them to a realtors.com, where they can end up looking at a listing with a different agent, and now all that work that I had done is now in someone else's hand.
Yeah.
So I want to have all the tools in my website so my buyers, my sellers, my consumers can get access to all the information that they need in one place. I don't want to send them, redirect them to different websites to look for information. I want to be the source for real estate for them.
Exactly.
And I want to also mention a misconception by some brokers. I was speaking to an agent in the Midwest. She worked at Realty Executives, I think. And I mentioned KvCore and how all EXP agents get basically a free KvCore website and CRM in their tech package, what it's worth and all that. And she said, oh yeah, we use KvCore. And I asked her how much she was paying, and it was zero. So the misconception is there are agents out there that think that they have a KvCore website when in fact what they have at best is probably a lead generating page and a CRM that's controlled by their broker. And that means their broker owns all the leads, controls those leads, monitors all those leads, and can withdraw those leads at any time. And the difference is our agents at EXP, they own their own leads.
Right.
They own their own website, and then they can actually blow up to a KvCore team package and be the person in control of other agents' leads even.
That's a really big and important point, Jim. Thanks.
Absolutely, yeah. A lot of people. I want to also make sure that we have been talking about things that you want to do on your website, and I want to make sure that I take a second to say that the power of KvCore is not necessarily the good-looking website that you are going to receive by joining EXP by using KvCore. It's not just about the site; it's the power of the technology used behind KvCore.
Yeah.
The smart campaigns, the following up. That is what is going to make you more and make you a better agent. Yes, you're going to have a very good looking SEO friendly website that is going to have all the bells and whistles, but behind the scene, that is where you're going to see the benefit of using a system like KvCore.
So
all right, next, real quick.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Tip number 8. Like you said before, Larry, you want to have all the towns in where you operate.
Right.
You want to become the authority on real estate in that specific town. KvCore allow you to select the towns in where you work, add them to your website, and automatically the system will create a market report for each one of those websites, every one of those towns, highlighting the properties, the new listing, property of the market, price deduction, and everything else. So now your buyers and people that come into your website, they don't have to go to 5 different places to obtain that information. They can come to your website, click on the town, and instantly know up to the minute what is happening in that town with respect to real estate.
Because they came into your website and because you have this widget, they don't have to go anywhere else. That's what you're saying.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Okay, so you want to update, you want to add the towns where you work, and the system will automatically does all the CRM. You don't have to do anything else. Just add the town, you're good to go. Tip number 9. And this is a multi-tip. Keep it simple, keep it clean, keep it local, interactive, all the stuff that we have talked about. You want to make sure that your site is simple to navigate. You don't want to take the person to 5, 6, 7, 9 clicks before they can see a listing. People want, unfortunately, we live in the microwave era where everyone wants access to information right away. So you want to make sure that your site is full, that your site is simple to navigate, that is clean, that it has the proper videos and picture. You want to make it local. You work with a buyer that is, or a seller that is interested on his house here. He doesn't want to know that you're blogging about a property in Utah and North Dakota with respect to our friends in Utah, North Dakota. They want you to be local. They want you to become the local authority. So you want to make sure that all your context is around the area in which you operate. It's about our buyers and sellers. The more resources, the more content you put on your website, the more index that you're going to get by Google, the more traffic you're going to generate, the more buyers you're going to get, the more money you're going to make.
There is, this makes so much sense to me. There is an EXP agent in Asheville, North Carolina, Elena KvCore, and a Russian agent. Well, she's a Russian-born native, but she lives here in Asheville, and she didn't know anything, and she was trying to build her business, and she went out and created videos about Asheville. Now she has more than 100,000 followers, and this has been her business because she's sharing what she knows about Asheville, North Carolina. So anytime anybody Googles that, somewhere along the line, they're going to run into her in that first page.
Absolutely. So, and then finally, have a plan. When you're going to have a plan, just like you do it everything else, you log in, you get your KvCore website. You want to have a plan in action of what you want to do, how you want to target your audience, how you want to present yourself. So that's the last one. And last one, and I'm sorry, tip number 10, there are a number of available coaches. There are resources in the ESP marketplace and in the ESP world that will help you. Any agent that is thinking about coming on board, people like you, people like Larry, will help you, will guide you to the place when you could learn these resources, you could get access to the resources to help you understand better KvCore, understand how to navigate the website and build a better user experience.
Please,
let's talk.
please.
I'm sorry. Let's talk about the app, because KvCore just released an app. Can we do a shallow dive into how that works?
Before we leave this, because I want to get us off this so we all see each other again. LearnKvCoreOnline.com is you, Anthony. It's
Yeah.
I don't want anybody to call me how to set up KvCore because I call you. So
no problem.
Please don't call me.
Just and yeah, and we're gonna take this away. So LearnKvCoreOnline.com. I want to let everyone that is listening know that in the workspace, I have a group. We was talking earlier a little bit about that. I have a group called Learn and Master KvCore. It is a group in which I teach KvCore 3 times a week for free via Zoom. You can come in and you can learn everything about KvCore. There are agents out there that want to get access to the video, or they need a little bit of a hand holding through the KvCore. And for that, I have put together a channel. It is a subscription channel where you could go in, subscribe, and you could get access to all my videos and all the classes and get yourself properly set up.
Worth it. Well worth it. Thanks so much for sharing.
No problem. Let me stop this thing. But yes.
So let's talk about the app a little bit.
So there you go. Here we are. Bye, guys. So as everyone know, a couple of months ago, KvCore released an app that they are trying to that allow you get a lead. You add that lead or that lead gets written into your CRM, into your KvCore website. And right away, KvCore saying that buyer or that tenant or that seller a link that they can use to log in and look at properties and look at and do searches and everything else. What that does is that creates a two-mirror app where you can see everything that they are clicking. You could see every search that they've done. You could see every interaction with any of the properties in the app that your buyer or seller is doing. You have access to that rich information on the background. So remember back in the days, agents used to send a CRM or used to send a list of properties to the buyers. And then you have to wait back onto the buyer, come back and tell you, what I want to see this one and that one and this one and that one. So the app, what it's doing right now is that allow you in real time, see exactly what your buyers are clicking, see exactly what they're searching. And that allow you to have a better understanding of what they are looking for you to serve them better. So that
it goes further, Anthony. It goes further.
It definitely goes further, but that is the general idea, to be able to provide. And we all know that we live in a world where everyone is mobile.
And the way it goes further is there's artificial intelligence built into it. So if your client is clicking on a number of things, clients will always tell you, I want this thing, and they end up buying that thing. but
Correct.
their search always indicates what they're really interested in. So this behind the scenes stuff is paying attention to that and feeding the client more of that rather than whatever you originally set it up.
Correct.
So
that is
Anthony, for a branding level for that button that ends up on the smartphone, can that be customized, or is it always going to say
so
360 home
so
or whatever?
so I would tell you that me personally, and anyone can obviously look at me, find me in LinkedIn and see what I have worked with. I have personally developed probably somewhere about 1,600 different apps for real estate from every broker. I won't go into the broker's name, unfortunately, but from every broker, from mom and pop to top 5 brokers in the US. I would tell you that the advantage of using the one that is KvCore is providing, number one, is because it gives that buyer access to every listing US.
No, the app is fine. I'm talking about the graphics on the button.
If you're talking about having your own personalized version of the app,
no, just same app, different look on the button. That's all.
That's personalized.
I want my face on the button.
So
that's personalized. Yeah,
exactly. The personalized version of the app is by regular means is not doable. It's a matter of you turning around,
because their competition is Homestack. They do it. I mean, obviously this is kind of a freebie for us, and Homestack's probably going to cost you 10 grand a year.
Well, Homestack will cost you about 10 grand a year, or they are other means. The problem about developing, and I have developed apps actually just the same way as the one that we are talking about, is you are titled to your local MLS.
Yeah.
And if that we could develop an app for you that has the same functionality and everything else with your fully branding. That person gets on a plane and fly to North Dakota and open the app, they don't have access to the North Dakota listings.
Right.
I get it. I get it.
And
so there's so much to think about. I wish we had another 30 minutes or more. Now, what was the name of it? KvCore.com was the place where people can get in touch with you?
KvCore Learning Online.
KvCoreLearningOnline.com. People can reach out there, get it. There's a list of classes. We already have over 60 classes in there. We are scheduled to have another 100 before the end of the year. You can learn everything from how to customize your signature, how to brand your logo, how to embed YouTube video, how to embed your social media, how to embed a blog, a rainbow of options that you could learn yourself. And again, that is the subscription. I always invite people. I teach for free. It's 3 times a week. You can come in. The classes are 30 minutes in and out. So you could go in, learn something about KvCore, and then go back about your business.
I've already recommended you to several of my new personal recruits, and they're probably listening today. Thanks, guys.
And if you're not with EXP yet, you can speak to Larry and myself anytime.
Larry and Jim.
And
Anthony, you're an EXP guy, right?
Tell you what to do next.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah. We were talking about that a little bit, Larry, earlier. We were talking about why the channel, and I say, we are growing that big because we are providing a service. We're trying to empower our agents to become better agents. The better they are, the better we all are.
And this is why you listen to the Exponential Files each and every week. We bring you a fantastic guest. I don't know if Anthony is someone I want to be or Anthony is someone I know, but he is. Join in next week. It's such a pleasure to have you. Thank you for listening to the Exponential Files.
Recordings